You ever tried moving to a new house? It's kind of a nightmare, right? All those boxes, the logistics, and you're constantly worried you're going to break something important. Well, imagine doing that, but with a company's most valuable asset. It's data. That, in a nutshell, is data migration. And for a long time, it's been one of the biggest headaches in the tech world. But what if AI could turn that whole messy process into something smooth, automated, and, well, easy? Let's take a look.
So you might be thinking, come on, it's just copying files from point A to point B. How hard can it really be? And you know what? It's a fair question, but it's a question that has given a whole lot of IT teams some very, very long nights.
Because the reality is, traditional data migration is like walking through a minefield. It's incredibly slow, it takes a ton of manual work, and it's just filled with opportunities for human error. And just one little mistake can corrupt your most important data. So the real question is, how do you get through that minefield without anything blowing up? That's what we're about to break down.
All right, to really get how AI is flipping the script on data migration, we're going to walk through this in 5 parts. First, we'll talk about the challenge itself. Then, we'll meet the AI architect that dreams up the perfect plan. After that, we'll watch the automated journey happen. We'll see the final verdict, and then we'll wrap up with why this whole AI-powered approach is such a massive game changer.
Okay, so let's set the scene here. Picture a huge Oracle database. It's just packed with years and years of customer info, sales records, all the stuff that's absolutely critical to the business. Now, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to move all of that data into a brand new, shiny Salesforce cloud platform. The catch? It has to be perfect. Not a single piece of data lost. And it has to be fast.
And this is our roadmap. I know, it looks a little like a subway map during rush hour, but don't worry about it. We're going to break this whole thing down into a really simple 2-part story. This diagram shows the entire automated trip from beginning to end, and we're going to walk through it together.
The first part of our story is what we call the lift. Think of this like an architect drawing up the blueprints for a skyscraper. This is the think before you act phase, where the AI engine does all the really hard, brain-intensive work, like planning everything out and writing all the necessary code for us.
And the second part? That's the run. Once those blueprints are absolutely perfect, this is where the automated construction crew takes over. It's totally hands-off. The system just executes the plan exactly as it was written, flawlessly. And it can do it again and again without ever making a mistake.
So now that we've got the basic idea, let's dive into phase 1, the lift. This is where the AI really gets to shine, using a tool that's basically an AI architect.
The heart and soul of the lift is this AI engine called anti-gravity. Seriously, think of it as the brain for this whole operation. The human team gives it something super simple, like an Excel sheet with some business rules. And from just that, the AI architect automatically generates all the complex code needed to make the migration happen. This is generative AI doing what it does best, getting rid of all that tedious manual code.
So what does this AI architect actually build?
Well, it creates 3 absolutely critical things. First, there's the master plan, which is a detailed workflow that lays out every single step. Second, it builds the loading instructions, which tells the system exactly where every little piece of data needs to go. And finally, it writes a quality checklist, a script that's going to be our final inspector, making sure the move was a total success.
Okay, so the perfect plan is locked in. The AI architect has done its job. Now it's time for phase 2, the automated journey, or as we called it, the run. All the heavy thinking is done. Now it's all about perfect automated execution. This journey unfolds in 3 clean, automated steps. Step 1, the data gets pulled out of its old home. Step 2, it gets loaded into its new home. And step 3, it gets checked to make sure everything arrives safe and sound. Simple, efficient, and totally automated.
So, our journey kicks off with step A, extraction. The system automatically goes into the Oracle database and pulls out the exact data we need based on that master plan. Not a byte more, not a byte less. It then gets everything ready for the next part of the trip.
Right on to step B, loading. The data that was just extracted gets handed over to Salesforce's Bulk API, which is kind of like a high-speed data shuttle. Following those super precise instructions from our AI architect, the system places every single piece of data into its proper new home inside Salesforce. But hey, how do we know the move was perfect? We need an inspector, right? Well, meet the Auto Test Runner. This is our automated quality inspector. Its one and only job is to make sure that the migration was absolutely flawless.
And that brings us to the grand finale, step Z, validation.
The quality inspector uses that checklist script that the AI wrote earlier to do a spot check. It looks at the data in its new Salesforce home, compares it to the data from the original source, and makes sure everything is a perfect match.
So, the automated journey is done. The checks have all been run. And now, we get the moment of truth. This is Phase 3, the final verdict.
And the verdict is a clean pass. Our quality inspector gives it the green light. The data migration was a complete success. No errors, no lost data, just a perfect move. But the system doesn't just stop there. It closes the loop. It automatically sends that pass status right to the migration dashboard. So the human team gets an instant, clear thumbs up that the job is done right, and they didn't have to lift a finger to check a single thing.
So we've seen the how, but what about the so what? I mean, why is this AI-powered system so much better than the old-school, manual way of doing things? Let's zoom out and look at the huge advantages here.
The payoff here is just enormous. We're talking about a massive reduction in manual work, which doesn't just save time, it makes the whole business move faster. By taking humans out of the repetitive stuff, you're not just getting more accurate results, you're basically eliminating the risk of expensive mistakes. What you're left with is a bulletproof, repeatable process that works perfectly every single time. And maybe the best part? You free up your smart, talented human experts to focus on big ideas and innovation, not boring manual tasks.
What we've looked at today is really a sneak peek into the future of how IT works. AI just took on one of the most difficult and risky jobs out there and made it look easy. It really just leaves you with one fascinating question. If we can automate something this complex with this much precision, what's next? What other high-stakes jobs are ready for an AI revolution? The possibilities, you gotta admit, are pretty much endless.